We are just getting word from the SEC that a wave of Bitcoin ETFs have been approved. The SEC just putting out a statement saying that 11 of these have gotten the green light to trade in the U.S.
The long-awaited Bitcoin Spot ETF has been approved, but another coin is taking the lead and gaining serious momentum now and could be worth paying attention to. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody Buffington. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when we drop our latest content. Follow us on Twitter, AltcoinBuzzIO, and as always, this is not financial advice, and we wish you the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Altcoin Buzz Alpha is proud to say that we now have a winning portfolio spread among different sectors. We're also very well positioned to get into good IDOs. What about airdrops? Check the number of airdrops we've received until now. Add to that the original Celestia airdrop and more coming. We've achieved all of this by giving many deep research, diversified calls. Check out our numbers in December. We now plan to reallocate profits to low caps, diversify to new sectors, get bigger airdrops, catch latest trends like Bitcoin and linear inscriptions, and DCA during market flushes. We've also recently introduced a yearly subscription on Patreon. If you subscribe to our yearly plan, you get 1 month's membership completely free. Check out Altcoin Buzz Alpha with the link down below. On Wednesday, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission approved the first U.S. Bitcoin ETF, marking a pivotal moment for the cryptocurrency industry's decade-long quest for such a product. The SEC reconsidered its stance after a court ruled against rejecting Grayscale Investments' Bitcoin ETF application in August, citing a need to address concerns about market manipulation vulnerabilities. Finally, on Wednesday, the U.S. SEC approved a total of 11 applications from ARK Investment, Fidelity, BlackRock, and others. The green light for a spot Bitcoin ETF elevates the legitimacy of the entire cryptocurrency sector, ushering Bitcoin further into mainstream recognition. While spot Bitcoin ETFs already exist in Canada and Europe, the approval in the United States carries exceptional significance. The United States hosts some of the largest asset managers and institutional investors globally. While the financial impact of a spot Bitcoin ETF remains uncertain, the ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF, or BITO, the first SEC-approved Bitcoin futures ETF in 2021, witnessed approximately $1 billion in shares traded in its inaugural day. Experts speculate that a spot Bitcoin ETF could surpass 3 times this amount on its first day, potentially reaching $55 billion over the course of 5 years. Bloomberg has predicted an astronomical $4 billion for spot Bitcoin ETFs the first day of trading. Moreover, they forecast that $2 billion of these inflows alone could be set to come from BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF. The Bitcoin ETFs will list on all major platforms, including the Nasdaq, the New York Stock Exchange, and the CBOE. These ETFs will be backed by physical Bitcoin, acquired from cryptocurrency exchanges, and safeguarded through custodians such as Coinbase Global. The underlying assets of these ETFs will mirror a benchmark linked to Bitcoin. Some will track an index from CF Benchmarks, a Kraken-affiliated subsidiary, which consolidates trading data from various Bitcoin USD markets operated by prominent cryptocurrency exchanges. But why is this US ETF such a big deal? Well, many are comparing it to the first gold ETF launched in the US. 2 decades ago, the debut of ETFs that let investors easily invest in gold prompted widely optimistic predictions. Over $100 billion is now stashed in gold ETFs that now trade in the US, the world's largest capital market. They've made investing in this precious metal as simple as clicking the buy button in a plain vanilla brokerage account, no vaults or armed guards needed. Gold then soared after gold ETFs were introduced 2 decades ago, and Standard Chartered, the global bank, views this as relevant history for Bitcoin ETFs. Gold's price more than quadrupled in the 7 years following their 2004 ETF introduction in the United States. They expect Bitcoin to enjoy price gains of a similar magnitude as a result of US spot ETF approvals, but they said we see these gains materializing over a shorter 1 to 2 year time period, given our view that the Bitcoin ETF market will develop more quickly. The firm sees the price of Bitcoin rising to $100,000 by the end of this year. This is what has some crypto observers so enthusiastic about Bitcoin ETFs. A flood of companies, including asset management giant BlackRock, just got approval to offer them in the United States, and there's hope that it will bring a wave of institutional and retail money into the investment ecosystem. SEC Commissioner Hector Pierce, aka Crypto Mom, put out a statement yesterday which shares her thoughts on the Bitcoin ETF, and she doesn't hold back. Laura Shin shared the key statements on X, saying, "Honestly, it makes me wonder if it's ever awkward at the SEC office." Hester wrote, "Today marks the end of an unnecessary but consequential saga. For reasons I've explained many times before, the logic of the long string of denials is perplexing. The Commission has driven retail investors to less efficient means of attaining Bitcoin exposure in the securities markets. The Commission, rather than admitting errors, offers a weak explanation for its change of heart. We squandered a decade of opportunities to do our job. Today's order does not undo the many harms created by the disparate treatment of spot Bitcoin products. First, our arbitrary and capricious treatment of applications in this area will continue to harm our reputation far beyond crypto. Diminished trust from the public will inhibit our ability to regulate the markets effectively. Second, our disproportionate attention to these filings has diverted limited staff resources away from other mission-critical work. Over 10 years, likely millions of dollars of staff time has gone towards blocking these applications. Third, our actions here have muddied people's understanding of what the SEC's role is. Fourth, by failing to follow our normal standards and processes in considering spot Bitcoin ETPs, we've created an artificial frenzy around them. Had these products come to market in the way other comparable products typically have, we would have avoided the circus atmosphere in which we now find ourselves. And fifth, we've alienated a generation of product innovators within our space. This really makes you wonder what's happening at the SEC office, but at least Hesser was able to clear things up. The Vaneck CEO also recently said this about the ETF in an interview.
So what's your expectation of how this is going to shift the environment and the mood around Bitcoin? There's been a lot of anticipation around this. The prices of Bitcoin ran up in expectation. It's sort of unclear what kind of volatility we're going to see from here.
Yeah, I mean, with any ETF, it depends how is the underlying market trading. So that was the context that I like to set today. So first of all, about $30 billion of Bitcoin trades every day, half of it on exchanges like Coinbase, and the other half over the counter. So there's a lot of liquidity in the underlying asset of Bitcoin. Compare that to the biggest Bitcoin fund, GBTC, right now, which is about 26 billion. So there's a lot of liquidity. GBTC trades under $200 million a day. So if that kind of on-exchange volume shifts over to the ETFs, things should be pretty smooth tomorrow, would be my expectation.
The question is, who's going to buy it? Are you expecting a lot of institutional investor adoption? And if we have multiple approvals and multiple ETFs now coming to market, is there room for everyone?
Well, first question, I think a lot of people will be now exploring Bitcoin for the first time. There have obviously been a lot of retail investors involved, but a lot of fiduciaries, financial advisors, and frankly, the banks have been told by the regulators, do not touch crypto. In fact, even today, as you know, these ETFs are structured with cash contribution and redemptions because the regulators wanted the banks to stay away. So a lot of major institutions handling huge amounts of money are going to be looking at Bitcoin for the first time as something they can safely buy in custody for their clients.
Bitcoin briefly reached $47,000 in a subdued descent, followed by the approval of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission of the Bitcoin ETFs directly investing in the token. While Bitcoin gains stay limited, Ethereum and other altcoins have registered maximum gains after the ETF approval. Soon after the news of a Bitcoin ETF approval, the Ethereum price surged, shooting past $2,600 levels. Several market analysts have already predicted that ETH is likely to outperform Bitcoin in Q1 2024. As Ether experienced a noticeable surge, its positive momentum extended to other cryptocurrencies within the Ethereum ecosystem. Tokens affiliated with Polygon observed a 13% increase, Chainlink saw an 11% advance, and Uniswap registered an impressive 14% surge. The speculation around a Bitcoin ETF becoming a reality has prompted a shift in trader focus towards Ether, anticipating the next narrative of an Ethereum ETF. Looking ahead, the Securities and Exchange Commission is slated to make decisions on a spot Ethereum ETF application starting in May. Major players such as BlackRock, Invesco, ARK, Vaneck, and Grayscale are among the firms waiting for approval. On January 10th, Gnosis co-founder Martin Koppelman said a chain's value should come from the utility it provides. Ethereum is fundamentally offering block space, and users are paying around $2.5 billion per year for it. Moreover, the total value locked across the Ethereum Layer 2 ecosystem recently hit an all-time high of $21 billion. Ethereum staking is still a strong narrative, with 24% of the supply valued at around $68 billion currently staked and securing the network. And finally, Ethereum remains a deflationary asset, with 339,000 ETH burnt since the merge in September of 2022. Therefore, it could be time for Ethereum prices to start moving upward, especially if Bitcoin gamblers are selling the news. That's it for Altcoin Buzz Update. I'm Roscoe Buffington. Thanks for watching.